Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Pitchless Selling Podcast. Pitchless Selling Podcast is a show where we talk about sales and sales training, talk a little bit about business strategies, as well as some personal motivation. So if you're a salesperson or a budding entrepreneur, heck, maybe you just want a little motivation to get you through your day, you've definitely come to the right place. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for being here. I'm Josh Hine. I'm the founder of Liftoff and creator of the Pitchless Selling Framework and sales methodology. Today's podcast is an exciting one. The title you might have found to be a little controversial. I am aware of that. Sales scripts suck is bold. It's a it's a bold opinion that I have. And to be honest, sales scripts in general, there is a use for a sales script. I am not completely writing off sales scripts or scripts in general. I do have some problems with sales scripts, and that's what I want to talk about today. So, if you're a big fan of reading sales scripts, and if you think sales scripts are a big part of your job, I'm going to challenge the way you think about that a little bit today. So first and foremost, I just want to clear the air. I do see the value in sales scripts. I understand that there are some things that, again, a script can help with. I would say that tremendous value of a sales script is early in someone's sales process, or if someone's new to sales or new to a specific role, a script can start someone in the right direction. It can help them with, getting the first few conversations under their belt, and it's a great way to take away some of maybe the nerves that exist right in early on in sales with what do I say and stuff like that. Okay. The problem now, some of the challenges, some of the issues that I have with sales scripts are that scripts can make you robotic, right? Number one, sales scripts can make you robotic. If you've taken our level 1 or level 2 training programs, gone through any of our training courses at all, online or maybe through your business, you know that we are big believers in the importance of conversational selling, right? Having a conversation, an open dialogue with a prospect and taking a genuine interest in that prospect, in their business, in their personal lives, whatever it is. If you're selling B2B or B2C, having every conversation being genuine and authentic and you being genuinely curious is fundamental to pitchless selling. And so part of the challenge I have with a script in that case is I think it takes out some of that authenticity. Right? I think it's a lot harder to be authentic and have an open, generally authentic conversation with someone if you're just reading off a script. Now, maybe you can use that script to get to the point where you're not reading it anymore, right? The best thing you can do with the script in terms of, still being generally authentic, right, and genuinely curious, the best thing you could do with that script is to memorize the script, but more than that, understand what are you trying to accomplish with that script? Or what is that script trying to accomplish? Or what is this specific question trying to accomplish, right? What are you trying to get at? Where are you trying to guide the conversation? What is this specific line that you're supposed to say or question you're supposed to ask? What is it meant to accomplish, right? Now, here's why I say that. This brings me to point number 2. The problem number 2 that I have with scripts is sales conversations will inevitably go off script. You're going to get to the point where someone doesn't answer a question the way you want to, or they ask you a question, right, that you're not prepared for. You don't have an answer for because it's not in your script. Oh no, what do I do? Right? I don't know. I'll get back to you on that one. Let me go. I'd be glad to go ask someone and I'll get back to you. Right? It's like, hate getting caught with my pants down in this. Like I hate not knowing the answers, right? And so that is a fundamental problem with a script. If you have someone who is a script seller who only sells on scripts or memorizes scripts and they're selling based on that, you don't have a conversation that way. That's not how you talk to someone. So when a sales conversation inevitably goes off the rails or goes off script, if you don't understand the why behind what you were trying to accomplish, or don't understand what you were trying to do, or the why behind that part of it, you're going to be in big, big trouble. And I'm talking big trouble. It's going to make you look like a buffoon. And then you're going to lose all your confidence. You're not going to know what to do. And again, we already know confidence is important. Confidence in yourself, the confidence that you portray, that you exude, that you show your prospect. So as soon as they start seeing that, your lack of confidence, guess what else happens? Boo, trust decline, right? Their belief that not only they can trust what you're saying, but their belief that your offering is a good fit for them starts to go down the window. And so that's the second problem I have with a script is if you're just working off a script and you're just memorizing a script, or you're just reading a script, and that conversation inevitably goes off script, now you're in trouble. Right? Now you're in big trouble. So the next challenge that I have with scripts is that, a script itself is meant to give you exact words to say, right? It's just that. It's a script. It's words on paper. But I want you to think about this for a second. Hollywood actors or actors in general, right? They memorize their scripts, okay? But if you think about your favorite actor of all time, or think about a movie or a show or something that you've watched where, someone was so good in their role as that person that you forgot that they were acting, right? That they were that character to you. They became that person, right? That's what good actors do, isn't it? They memorize their lines. They become that person, though. And so the third problem and challenge that I have with scripts is it's just words on paper. Okay? There's so much more to the communication. There's so much more to actually delivering a message the right way that the words are just the words. So again, I understand the reason for a script. And look, let me just say, we give scripts as well. Like there are times that we offer scripts, scripted questions, scripted responses to objections, those types of things. But with that, we go a step further in the pitchless selling program, and we teach you how to deliver those things. We teach you why you're saying those things, right? There's so much more to this thing. It's not about just reading a script or memorizing a script. You have to know what you're trying to accomplish. You have to know how to say it and how to deliver it. Your tone matters. Your body language matters. All those things matter. And so there's an example I have of this where I did a master class and it was a group training for a business. They sold a B2B product in the tech space, and I had examples, and I even did some of these. I was doing the calls myself, where I was actually talking to prospects, and there was a wide variety of different skill levels of salespeople in that masterclass, and tenured sales reps. We had people who had been there for a long time, and we had some brand new salespeople in there as well. And there was a guy in the masterclass, in the training, who, he was, to his credit, I mean, he really wanted it. He wanted to be good. I mean, he cared an awful lot. He was working his tail off and feverishly taking notes. I mean, this guy, I remember him today. And so we do this monthly check-in, right? And he raises his hand. I do a Q&A, and he raises his hand, and he says, Josh, I have a problem, and it's that I wrote down word for word every single word that you said, and I've been saying, I memorized it, and I went home, I practiced it over and over and over again. I memorized it. I don't read it anymore. I say it. But it's still not working. It doesn't sound right. It's not getting the same result like it did when you said it. And so that was an opportunity. We spent a lot of time in that training, the rest of the time talking about how to deliver a message and the importance of, the way you communicate is just as important as what you say. And so it's an interesting story, though, because this guy, again, word for word, was saying word for word, and they record their sales conversations. And so we had an opportunity to listen to this part of his call, and it was, I didn't have what I said exactly. It wasn't a script that I gave them. He was just taking notes. And so I didn't exactly compare it to, I didn't have my, exact words written down or anything like that. But based on what he said and what he had written down, I think it might have even been exactly word for word. If not, it was really close. But anyways, the point is he said exactly what I said, right? He was saying exactly what I was saying, but it just wasn't hitting. It wasn't the same. He wasn't having the same impact. And so that's another challenge I have with scripts. So look, I'm not here to, the point of this episode, this podcast episode, is not to tell you what's wrong with scripts. It may have seemed that way based on the title and based on the way I've started the podcast so far. But the point of the episode is actually to tell you what you can do about it. I want you to have something that you can take away from today, especially if you do use scripts. So let's start talking about takeaways. What can you do about it? If you use scripts now, if scripts are a big part of your role, or you have objection handling, like for example, we have a workbook which has objection handling responses in it, word for word responses. Boom, right? There's another thing we have word for word questions to ask in specific areas. So if you have something like that, if you have these word for word type of scripts for whatever it is, whatever part of your sales process it is, the first thing that you can do is do your best to understand the why behind what are you trying to accomplish with whatever that line is, whatever that question is, whatever that response is, whatever that process is, right? You need to understand the why, understand the question, understand the reason that you're doing things a certain way. Why is it written that way? What are you trying to accomplish? All right. And then if you are going to lean into this script, what you need to do is you need to memorize what it is, whatever the line is, whatever the script is telling you or whatever, and then do yourself a favor and take the exercise a step further. How can you ask that question a different way but accomplish the same thing, right? How can you respond to that objection in a different way but accomplish the same thing? So what you need to do is start building up. Guys, look, becoming a professional and being elite, a top-level salesperson, this type of stuff takes time, repetition, right? Accountability, reinforcement, practice over and over and over and over again. So you need to spend time in this. So come up with different ways to say the same thing, but accomplish the same outcome. Because what's going to happen is you need to be able to have a conversation. You need to be able to within a conversation, within the context of a conversation, you need to be able to go in any direction that you need to go to keep it conversational, to not be this sort of robotic, scripted salesperson, okay? So the best way to do that is to get good at asking the same types of questions, or get good at memorizing responses and different ways to say it, different tone, right? You're going to put different emphasis on different words depending on what you're trying to accomplish. And again, this is one of the advanced selling skills that we spend a lot of time in, especially in our level 2 program, because this is really important. The way you say things is really important. And so we spend a lot of time on this in our level 2 program. Highly encourage you guys to take a look at the pitchless selling level 1 and level 2 programs. So the best thing you can do with a script is to understand it, understand the why, understand what you're trying to accomplish, and then practice until you can't get it wrong. Don't practice until you get it right. Practice until you can't get it wrong. Making it sound not scripted, making it sound conversational. All right? So that's the first thing you can do with your scripts. All right? The next thing you can do with a script, and again, this takes a little bit of time. This takes a little bit of, should I say, maybe experience, right? Because again, when you're newer or when you're just starting out in sales, people lean on their scripts. Salespeople, and that's okay. It's a natural tendency. Again, the script exists for a reason. When you're new, when you're just trying to, because you need something. You need to. You can't just start having sales conversations and not know where to go or what to say, right? And so that's when a script can come in handy. when you're newer. But when you've got a little bit more experience, right? When you've been selling for a little while, what I want you to do is I want you to take, if you have scripts, or if you're given scripts, or if you're looking for scripts, if you have something like our workbook as an example, right? What I want you to do is I want you to actually write out your own script, your own new quote unquote script for different situations of your sales conversations. Okay? Because what do you have? If someone's giving you a script, whether it's your company, your job is giving you a specific script, right? Maybe they've got specific things they want you to say or ways they want you to approach this, or you come to someone like us and we're giving you scripts that are either specific for your industry, we have industry specific stuff, or we're just giving you general objection handling techniques, objection handling scripts. At the end of the day, if someone else is giving it to you, it isn't your words, right? It's not necessarily how you would communicate. And so going back, I'm putting a bow now on that story that I told you before about the guy who wrote down exactly what I said and was saying it, but it wasn't having the same impact. It's because he wasn't me. It wasn't natural to him. That's not how he talks. So the way he says, he could have accomplished the same thing that I was trying to accomplish, but said it in a different way, in a way that he was more comfortable with. Right? And so this goes back to the whole personality style side of things, right? Everyone's got different personalities. Everyone's got different communication styles. I was always an energetic seller. I sold. I had high energy. I loved to make a positive impact on people's day, right? And that is how I approached selling. I've seen very, very, very successful people who are I would go so far as to say they are low energy and very methodical with their sales approach. But the process that they follow, the framework, like our pitchless selling framework, is, very regimented, and it's good, and it's all about the prospect, and it's done the right way. But the fact is, they say things differently than I would say things. And so one of the things that's most important in sales is you have to be confident and comfortable. To be confident, you've got to be comfortable. I'll say that again. To be confident, you have to be comfortable. So, unfortunately, my last and biggest gripe with sales scripts is that it is a scripted way to say something that does not necessarily work for every personality or every communication style. It isn't going to be comfortable to say those things for every personality or communication style. And as soon as someone gets out of their comfort zone and is forced to say things in a way that's not comfortable for them, the prospect feels that, and boom, now you got problems. They feel scripted. It feels awkward. It feels uncomfortable. The prospect feels that. So the second exercise, the second challenge that I want you, or that I have for you, is to take the scripts that you have right now and make them your own. Write them in a way that feels comfortable for you. Okay? At the end of the day, remember, scripts are good. Scripts have a purpose. But you have to be comfortable. So find a way to say the things you need to say to accomplish what you need to accomplish in a way that's comfortable for you. Let that confidence shine. Let that confidence come through. And I guarantee you'll start selling a whole lot more. So that's it for the episode today. That's where I stand on scripts. Not all scripts are bad. Hey, our scripts are great. So I'm just kidding. But seriously, our scripts are pretty good. But anyways, at the end of the day, I want you to be comfortable. I want you to be confident. I hope you go out there and you practice the things that I gave you today and you start selling a whole lot more right away. So if you enjoyed this podcast, please send it or share it to someone that you think could also benefit from the message today. And look, appreciate you being here wherever you're watching or listening to this podcast, and really look forward to catching you all on the next one. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you soon.